All right, here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. We have been gone for a little over 2 weeks this time. We apologize. I was on the road yesterday. I'm still on the road, but I could not get to a computer yesterday, so that's why we are doing it today. So thank you for joining us, and I guess let me introduce Hillary before I start rambling.
Hello, everyone. I also just want to say that after our last video, somebody commented that I looked like I was being forced to be there, that I looked very upset, and that made me a little sad. I think I must just have a grumpy looking face, but I'm always happy to be here.
Well, I think people would, they would be disturbed if they would have to hang out with me on YouTube as well. So anyway, in this video, we were going to talk about what we think is coming for Montana this year, and what we've seen and what is going on. And as everybody knows, it's been crazy around here. There's been all kinds of news articles. Let's start out with this one. Why is it saying? Can you throw that one up? It's saying remove on my end. There we go. This was just in the paper the other day, talking about the mortgage rates going up around here, and it's potentially going to shake up the market. Again, like we've kind of been saying all along, obviously who knows how high the mortgage rates are going to go, but yes, they definitely will probably slow things down, maybe make things plateau a little bit. We've been seeing a lot of houses, a lot of new listings come on the market. And so with that, obviously with, it's economics 101, the more houses that are on the market, the prices are going to, flatten out a little bit, let's say, is what we're hoping. And we're seeing a little bit of that as well. The next article, and I looked up the rates today. This one here says they're at 3.8. The one I looked at, and again, this depends on credit rating, and so there's many variables and all that, but the one I saw today was over 5. And if you guys have ever looked into what those points do to your mortgage payment, it's pretty incredible how much more it can go up. And what that's going to do to people is the higher they go up, if you can afford a $500,000 house right now at the current rates, well, if they go up a point or two, you may not be able to afford that anymore. So I believe that's what's going to correct or, plateau our market a little bit if they continue to rise like that. The next article we had, it's talking about the economic growth, and there's a interesting paragraph right here in the middle. There's a company, Applied Industrial Technologies, a significant employer in the Flathead Valley, said they could hire 200 workers tomorrow at salaries of $60,000 to $130,000, but there are no homes for them to move into. And we've kind of touched on that as well over the last few weeks. There's all kinds of different projects that are on the table, people trying to figure out this employee housing thing. What I think the big thing is there's all kinds of new construction around the valley. I'm sure Hillary will agree as she's driven around. They're building stuff all over. So we're getting caught up, or we're working on getting caught up, I should say. Kalispell just approved a 600 house subdivision out just west of town. So once all these things start coming together, it's like that with everything. Nobody saw this coming, and everyone was caught kind of with their pants down, and now everybody's rushing to get everything built. So I'm sure when everything gets built, then the economy will be a little different, and there'll be too many houses, just like always. So,
and it's also interesting watching how everything's playing out, because some places are waiting for things to be built before they start selling. But I just thought of this because we just ran into it, but there are condos and townhomes that are on the market now that are going to be built. So you're buying something that has not gone under construction yet. And we've run into issues with that just because construction, nobody can find builders right now. Construction prices are still kind of up. So it may be listed for one thing, and then the next thing you know, it's like doubled in price. So yeah, that's just kind of a side note, but it's interesting.
Yeah, well, you're probably talking. We just had some people last week that are going to buy something that hasn't been built, and right in the contract it reads that when the builder gets to the point of ordering all the materials, if the price is significantly different than what it is when he actually put the price on the house, they're going to have to renegotiate and talk about, you know, what it's actually going to cost at that point. And that's kind of something that's changed too, that I've noticed that never was a thing, you know, in years past. And now, you know, a lot of builders got burned a couple years ago when the lumber prices went through the roof, because there was a lot of people putting houses on the MLS that were, you know, listed as to be built, but they would have a price, say it was like 500,000. And what happened is right when COVID hit and all of a sudden the big rush started, people started buying those houses and putting down contracts. Well, then the builder was tied in at the $500,000 mark or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden he buys all his lumber. Well, a lot of those builders, they either broke even or lost a little bit of money. And obviously you're not going to stay in business long if you're doing it that way. So now the builders have had to kind of change the contracts and, you know, set it up like we were just talking about in order to protect themselves. And again, the other thing that can happen too now with the interest rates going up is if you put down a deposit or a reservation on a house that is to be built, and then all of a sudden the builder says, well, it was 500, but now it's going to be 550. You may not, if the rates go up, you may not be able to afford 550. So it's kind of a crazy market right now and what's going on. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. You know, throw up that next slide is pretty interesting. This shows you a little bit about what's going on in the country. As you can see, the whole west side of Montana and all of Idaho pretty much is the highest percent change in growth. And, you know, besides Florida, there's no other states that have that much coverage in it. I mean, this is just from 2020 to 2021. So this is a good visual of what's happening in our part of the world. And for all the people out there that like to blame realtors for the prices going up, we have nothing to do with that. It's all a supply and demand thing. And this chart here kind of shows why that is.
And then even to get more specific and just focus on Montana, we can link the article in the notes, but Kalispell last year unseated Bozeman as the fastest growing city. So we knew that it was getting busy around here, but it's been confirmed.
What you might add, that's the fastest growing city in the country.
Yeah.
Of a city of that size. I think it's like cities under 100,000.
I was going to say they call it like a micro something.
Micro city. So yeah, that was kind of probably not an award that many of the locals wanted to win, but unfortunately that's what happened. So
that is the reality.
That is the reality. But you know, we still have had a lot of success with people finding them places. We got 3 more under contract this past week. So, you know, if you guys are looking for stuff, there are, like I said, every day I check the hot sheet, and that shows all the new listings that come out each day, and there's always been over 20. So there's more and more listings hitting the market. Some of them are still going pretty fast, but you know, if you guys if you guys have interest, it is possible to find a place up here. You just need to be a little patient and kind of have all your ducks in a row as far as making an offer on something. So, hey, it looks like Deep Fried Cherry Pie is back. We haven't seen him in a few episodes.
We've missed you.
Welcome back.
We do comment on your absence whenever you're not here.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them down below, and we'll start going through them here in a minute. Let's go back to the regular screen and put up our thing. We were talking about looking for houses here. You can email us at that email if you guys want to get a link to our MLS site, and that will show you what is available all around Western Montana.
Yes.
So with that, if we want to get into some of the questions, Hillary, you can start throwing them up and answer the ones you want. Oh, by the way, for those of you Hillary fans out there, which most of you are, I wanted her to do it yesterday by herself, but she would have none of it. So
that was a hard no from me. I'm not trying to take credit for being the star. I know it's all Will.
no,
All right, we've got a lot of people saying, I'm looking for questions.
it looks like we got a bunch of people on right now.
I know. I'm just reading the conversation in the comments. It's like everybody's talking to each other. It's great.
They're all talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, you guys don't even need us, I guess. Have they started working through tiny house regulations?
We
get questions about tiny houses a lot.
We do, and Montana, as usual, is always a little bit behind the times. But again, this growth happened so fast that nobody saw this coming, and none of these laws, just like trying to build the houses, everyone's just trying to get caught up. And, same with these kind of laws and these regulations. Every city's a little different. Some cities want them, some cities don't. So the answer is yes, they've started working through them, but nothing's official yet. So I guess we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, we get asked that quite a bit. So as we get more information, we'll let you guys know. Is Mary Beth wants to know is it true that a high percentage of people that move to Montana leave after 2 to 3 winters?
Well, Hillary and I have differing opinions on this. I say yes. Last winter, like a year ago, winter was very, very mild. This one was a little more harsh, but it wasn't horrible. So if we ever get a real Montana winter up in our part of the world, I guarantee it will chase people out. My wife, I know, is talking to some people right now that are moving because they don't want to deal with the winter. So, Hillary doesn't think there's as many people as I do, but I know a lot of people, they come up and visit in July and August and they think it's perfect and beautiful because it is, but they don't think about what it's like in January. And, they come up and try it for a couple of years and then they tap out. So it's mostly, the people from the southern part of the U.S. that are used to warm weather, and they've just never dealt with a real winter like this. So I get it if you've never had it. Hillary grew up out in the wide open prairies of Nebraska with nothing to stop the wind and bitter cold. So for her, the winters in Western Montana are pretty easy.
Yeah, it's an improvement. I like it. Tony wants to know, are people buying more lots than purchasing houses on lots?
It's about even right now, when you say, because the problem,
yeah, I would.
the problem with buying lots right now is the builders are so far out that it's not like you can just decide, oh, I'm going to just buy a lot and build a house in 6 months, and be into it instead of buying a existing house.
Yeah.
The builders are so backed up, unless you're going to do it yourself. It's not going to get done probably in at least a year at this point from what we've been seeing. So
Jody asks, what is the prediction for population growth in Missoula in the next 5 years, 10 years compared to now?
I don't know the answer to that. I assume it's going to continue to grow. At what rate, I don't know. Missoula is always going to be popular just because the college is there. And it's it's the second biggest city in Montana. So, there's more jobs there and more things for people to do as far as work. So, Missoula will definitely keep growing, I'm sure, but I don't know the answer to the percentage.
Lori, are you seeing a lot of people moving from California? Yes, we are. But we're seeing a lot of people from a lot of places. So California, but it seems like people are coming from all over the country. It's not just California.
No, in this part of the state, we're getting a lot of people from Seattle, Seattle and Portland, and over there as well, probably more so than California.
I think the number one place there where people were transferring from was Washington and like Oregon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. So what is next?
If I were to buy a ranch or farm, who would I get out there to totally check it out?
Well, you're looking at them. Depends on where you're buying, but we can definitely help you out. And if you want to send us an email, shoot us a email at the address below, and we can send you, any ranch information. I did a couple videos fairly recently about ranches and checking out the land and all that, so that should be helpful for you as well.
Tony wants to know, does Missoula get more snow than Libby during the winter months? No. Does it?
Yeah, that's about a toss-up, Tony. Yeah, I don't. You stumped us. I think it's probably pretty close, as if I had to guess. I don't think either town gets way more or less than the other. Libby in that area is a little warmer than Missoula, but Missoula is warmer than Whitefish, so I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But I would say that you probably won't see a big difference in either place.
I would agree. Lori wants to know what the population of Missoula is. Like 70.
Yeah, it's in the 70s. I don't know. Let me look it up here real quick.
75,000 is my guess.
Yeah, it just passed Bozeman for the second biggest city. So Bozeman's right behind. Let's see. Google is saying, well, that's Missoula County. Say Missoula County is 122,000. The actual city itself is more in the 70s, like Hillary was saying. But when you take the little county in, it's over 100,000. So
Lori is apologizing and saying that California people aren't terrible. I don't think you guys are terrible. There's no apology necessary. What is Livingston, Montana like?
You know what? I have not spent a lot of time in Livingston. How about you, Hillary?
I've not either. to be completely honest with you.
Livingston is over near Bozeman, so it is definitely, a busier part. It's growing faster over there. Livingston's right over the pass from Bozeman, so it's not really connected. But I always get Livingston and Lewistown mixed up. That's why I was looking at my phone there. But yeah, Livingston is right near Bozeman. It's beautiful, gorgeous area. So yeah, I mean, you can. What I like to do a lot, and I've said that in some of my videos, just get on Google Maps, and you can click on roads, and it'll actually show you the street view. But yeah, the mountains around there are spectacular, and you're close to Bozeman, you're close to the Paradise Valley. So it is getting pretty spendy over in the Livingston area, but there is a reason for that. All right, what do we have next?
We have somebody coming from Ukraine. We'll be very happy to help you. I know. Wow.
I'm glad you're able to get out of there. Not a great place to be at the moment.
I know.
Again, Ken, like Hillary said, we'd be happy to help. If you want to shoot us an email, let us know where you want to be. If you know where you want to be, or anything else, any other details, we would be happy to help. So.
What?
Oh, I just jumped over you. I clicked at the same time.
No.
Do you think the rapid building will lead to too many houses? And if so, how will that affect the Montana housing market in the future?
You're looking at me.
Kind of, I touched on this earlier. I thought Hillary was going to say something there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's just so hard to imagine that there would be too many houses.
But at the rate it's growing with the 600 house subdivision and everything they're building right now. Sure, if the economy slows way down, it'll turn into a buyer's market. It's been a seller's market now for 2 years, so I'm sure the buyers would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But like Hillary said, we've been discovered. There's such a demand right now that it's going to take an awful lot for that to come into play. So Jody, put the next one from Jody up. What is making Bozeman such a hot spot currently compared to Missoula? Well, Bozeman, because of there's another college there, Montana State, and Bozeman's been bringing in tech companies and bigger businesses over even before COVID hit. And then the Big Sky Ski Resort is also very close. So Bozeman's been, growing at a rapid pace compared to the rest of the country, and their prices show it. Compared to Missoula, I just think Bozeman people like it better. With the ski resort so close, there's actually a few of them. Missoula has one too, but it's nowhere near as big. The Big Sky Resort is huge. I just think Bozeman's always had a better perception maybe than Missoula. But yeah, Bozeman has definitely been discovered hugely, and everyone is wanting to be in Bozeman. That would be all the California people mainly. Bozeman's now known around here as Los Angeles, just because of the the great migration from California to Bozeman. And again, it's just there's a lot of jobs there, a lot of tech jobs, and that's what's driving it the most. So what do we have next? Fast food restaurants doing well in Missoula? I would say yes. I have no data on that other than there's a lot of them and there's always people there.
At first, I was thinking like Kalispell, and I was going to say Will and I probably keep them all in business ourselves, but
Yeah, we've been with all the driving we've done recently. We've been supporting them all around the state. So Jennifer wants to know: can you talk about fire insurance for the more remote areas? What is the cost, and there are problems getting policies? Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, last year, for whatever reason, I think whether it's the global warming, the drought, the number of fires we've been getting out west, I know that some people had problems getting policies. There were more and more companies were dropping policies for homes that were way out. So if you are buying out, nowadays you have to check into that. And part of our, if you do make an offer on the house, one of the contingencies on our contract is an insurance contingency, and it's for just that. So you can't, if you find a house you really like and you put in an offer and they accept it, and then you find out you can't get insurance on it, you're able to get out of the deal. But I haven't heard of anybody totally being shut down. It's just going to be a matter of cost. And again, you're asking, what is the cost? I can't give you a number. It depends on so much. You'd have to call around, and I have some people that we work with that could help you if you want to send us an email. But I don't know any specific prices, but I do know that it's getting harder and harder to get insurance if you're way out in the woods.
we missed a question up here asking about Big Fork. How many full-time residents for summer in Big Fork looking to get out of Arizona during the summer? I just looked up the population. It is like 4,600 full-time residents. In the summer, I don't know the exact number, but I would say it doubles at least.
Easy. I bet it's over 10,000 in the summer.
Yeah, I think it's very busy.
Yeah, Big Fork is definitely a three-month town, basically from June to 4 months, June to September. Big Fork is crazy, especially 4th of July. They have a big rodeo down there. They have the whitewater rafting festival. So definitely in the summer, it is very busy. This time of year, not so much. So
I will say the good thing about Big Fork or any of those little towns along Flathead Lake is huge. So it gets busy, but even when the lake is full of boats, that lake never feels like jam-packed like Whitefish Lake does because it's just massive.
Yeah, I think Flathead Lake is so big that's never going to be an issue.
Yeah.
So, here's a good one. Are there any properties available in Glacier Park? Yes, there are, as a matter of fact. I think there's two. Doesn't one of the gals in our office has one listed? And I think there's one other that just came on that I saw. But yeah, they are very expensive. The one is priced very high, the one I'm aware of. But there again,
you can use it for rentals, though, if we're thinking of the same one.
Yeah.
So yes, if you want to look at the MLS sheets, just send us an email and we can send those specific properties to you.
They don't, they really don't pencil. I mean, just because the amount you'd have to charge them rent and the amount they're asking. But, like they say in real estate, it's all about location, and there's a very small amount of homes that you can actually buy in Glacier Park, and they rarely come on the market. So that's why the prices are what they are, just because, how many people can say they own a house in Glacier Park? So that
One
definitely.
sold not like a few months ago, not that long ago. How much did that sell for? Do you remember the exact
Well,
number?
yeah, it was like that little that was the one that another gal in our office had, and it sold for like, well, it's I think it was 1.5 million. I don't remember. It was a lot.
No, I'm thinking of a different one because this was like 10 million. It was for a
Oh,
house.
yeah, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think there was some issues that came up with that, but anyway, the moral of the story is the houses in Glacier Park are very expensive, but they're very rare, so that explains it.
Yes.
Let's see. There seem to be a lot of Montana smoke fires and some blocked roadways. God, I hope it doesn't get worse. Yeah, we agree. But we did get more snow this year. Hillary said it was raining all day today there. So
Yep.
hopefully we get enough moisture this spring that we don't get a lot of smoke this summer, because that's no fun. Nobody likes the smoke.
No. Smoke is terrible.
Yep.
I'll tell you what's not terrible, the wildlife. Is wildlife out there annoying most of the time for homeowners? I would say absolutely not.
And I would say absolutely. We live in the town of Whitefish, and there are so many deer that live in the town of Whitefish. And I get it for tourists or someone like Hillary that loves animals, and they can't get in her backyard. If I had half the money that I've spent on landscaping that the deer have eaten, I would be doing quite well, because I've fed deer for years now, and every year I think, oh well, what's crazy is there's plants that are supposed to be deer resistant, and the funniest thing that ever happened to me, I was down in
Nothing is
Kalispell.
resistant.
Well, I was down in Kalispell one time. It was at the big nursery at Hooper's at the big nursery down there, and I said, is this plant deer resistant? And they're like, oh yeah. And then the guy, we were talking, and then the guy's like, well, where do you live? And so I live in Whitefish. Oh, yeah, it won't work up there. So they're deer resistant in most areas, but the whitefish deer apparently have a different palate, and they'll eat anything because they've destroyed everything we've have. The only thing, our neighbor has a bunch of lupine. I don't know if you know what that is, but and they don't like that. So this year I'm going to spend more money and plant a bunch of lupine and see if that actually works. But we'll have to keep you posted on that. So again, a split decision on that question. Shockingly, we disagree. But I think once Hillary lives here longer, she will come over to our side and agree with me. All right. Do we have anything else? Let's see. We're getting, this is just a comment. Bitterroot Valley seems to be a pretty underrated place. Speaking of the Bitterroot Valley, Hillary, we haven't even discussed this beforehand. I saw an article, where the hell was it? On this trip I've been on, I think it was just yesterday, my brother showed it to me, that they said they're filming Yellowstone up in Canada this year. And they kind of blew I know you're a big Yellowstone fan, but they blew, I hope, I shouldn't be giving this out, but I don't know why they were filming it up there. Something about, the ranch is going to be up there. I don't know. Maybe it was a fake article, but I did see advertisements in our papers. They were looking for extras for down in Missoula, because they did all the filming last year in the Missoula area.
Yes, I wanted to do that really badly, but I had to work.
You wanted to be an extra?
Oh, yeah.
So then you'd actually watch the show?
Yeah.
We actually had an agent in our office that her daughter was an extra, and she got a huge part. She was on like almost a big part of one of the episodes last season, so that was kind of cool. and they do hire a lot of the locals. So as much as the show has brought people into Montana and shown off Montana, it has been good for the locals and created jobs and kind of made it fun for people to get on a show like that. So let's see. Oh, Lori, no Dutton Ranch.
Shaking my computer a lot. Sorry.
They, yeah, Lori, we don't know. I hope that was an April Fool's. Maybe that's a good. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this guy is probably right on, Dave.
Oh, that's so sad. You fell for it.
I don't know. It was yesterday. What's the date? Today's
It's
the 4th. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no, they've been filming down in Darby. The ranch is down in Darby. But the more I think about that, Dave, that could have been what that was, because it made no sense. That why would they be up in Canada? So, all right, this one's for you.
I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker.
I know, and she admits that. Can you believe that? I actually went to Penn State, but my wife, well, this doesn't help either. My wife went to both of those schools, so we're neutral. We're about as neutral as you can get. But yeah, we've been to games at both places. It's kind of fun. The Grizzlies get into it. They have a big stadium for this size of football, and it's usually sold out, and it's a fun time. Big tailgate before every game, and the Bobcats have been getting better lately. When we a while back, when we were first in the business, the Bobcats were not good at all. They would get killed every year, but they've been getting a lot better. So it's kind of made it fun. And then every year in November, they have the Bobcat Grizz game, and it's a gigantic party. No matter
Our
what.
office had a tailgate last year, so we'll invite all of you next year. We can all meet up.
There you go. Yeah, plan on coming out. It's good times. You seen anything else? We're getting more discussions. Here we go. My uncle is single and lives alone in Corvallis. He needs to make friends. Any suggestions on activities? He does enjoy the shooting range. He's 63. Any ideas, Hillary?
Oh, not off the top of my head, but
yeah, I mean the shooting.
Research this.
Well, any of those hobbies like that. I play hockey, and I've made tons of friends playing hockey. There's a big community that does that. There's shooting ranges all over, so he should probably sign up at some other ones that are, I'm sure there's one in Hamilton or even north up by Stevensville or, down by Darby. They're kind of all over. So if that's his hobby, I would just get into that more, and I think it'd be no problem for him to make friends. How are the property taxes handled? Any exemptions for retired people? There are no exemptions for retired people that I know. There are exemptions for veterans, but not just for retired people. And as far as how they work, is they're based on the value of the property. So, and they get reassessed every 2 years. So the big thing right now is they're trying to pass a bill. It's a petition right now, but they're trying to pass a bill to cap the taxes, because obviously with the values skyrocketing in the last 2 years, people are going to have a little sticker shock when they get their next tax bill. So they're trying to get a handle on that and get that figured out. But as of right now, they're based on the value of your property. So what else?
So there you go.
You're stealing my line.
I know.
Yeah, we're not getting a bunch. Anyway, again, if anybody wants to look at what is available and wants a link to our MLS, check out and send us an email at that address down below, and we will get it out to you.
Yep. And if we missed any of your questions, just email us. We'll be happy to answer them.
How is Hamilton to live? Hamilton, nice little town, growing quite a bit. It's getting a lot of the Yellowstone people that want to live near, or live in the Bitterroot Valley. Hamilton's kind of the hub of the Bitterroot Valley. So it's a nice town.
It is. We just opened an office there, so it's definitely a popular area.
Yep. Lorena Jobs. Well, like we say, just about every one of these, you will have no problem getting a job anywhere on the west side of Montana. And now, speaking of the east side of Montana, I know with the oil prices as high as they're getting, they're starting to fire up all the oil drilling over on the east side of the state and western North Dakota. So there's going to be a ton of jobs over there too. They're trying to get people as fast as they can. They had kind of laid off a lot of the oil workers when the prices went way down and when COVID hit and all that. And now they're, kind of like the building of the houses. They're trying to catch up and get everyone back because the price of oil is so high right now. They want to cash in on that. So there are jobs all over the state. The hard part is finding a house. So that is the problem. I come from DOD aviation, need to find a job for Robbie and I. You know what? Like I said, there should be plenty of jobs, even in aviation. So you just need to get online, talk to whoever you deal with in that industry. But again, the problem right now is just finding a place to live, and depending on where you're trying to live. So. Kelly, are builders still busy? Or are they seeing a slowdown with rates going up? It hasn't really caught up yet. They're so backed up from all the people that have come in the last 2 years that
Still busy.
Yeah, they're still very busy. So anyway, I think we're kind of to the end unless you see any more or if you have anything else to add.
I don't think I do.
All right. By the way, it's Hillary's birthday on Friday, so everybody should wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Here, one more just came in. How do you see Montana as a destination for someone from Spain who is 35 years old? Well, that's right in Hillary's wheelhouse.
How so?
Well, you're the same age.
Oh. I mean, I love it. It depends on when you're coming. If you're talking about just coming for a trip or if you're wanting to move here. But I mean, I love literally every single thing about Montana. So I don't have anything negative to say about it. But if you have more specific questions or if you're talking about a specific area, send us an email and I'll be happy to have an in-depth conversation with you.
Here's a good example right here. We moved to the Flathead Valley a month ago from Virginia, started an HVAC service business and are already getting business. Yeah, I've said that all along. We need workers out here. It's just I'm glad you guys found a place to live. That's always been the issue for people. So, and look at this, Hillary's getting tons.
I know. Thanks, guys. That's really nice. Thank you.
Everybody loves Hillary. Look at you go.
There's so many.
Oh, here's one for me. Winter hockey seasons, they are all year long, Chris. We have the rink is open year round. We just finished the winter session. They have for leagues, we have basically a fall session that goes from September to about Christmas, and then we take a couple weeks off for the holidays, and then we start up in January again, and we play another session from the first part of January until about a week ago. And then they have a spring season that's more of a fun, it's a co-ed and all the different levels play together, and it's not serious like I don't know if serious is the right word, but we still think we're good during the winter. So the spring's more of a fun thing, and then it starts up again in the fall. So and even in the middle of summer, they still have drop-ins and you can still go play. But as far as leagues go, they end in about June, and that's it. All right, now the questions are rolling in. Do you see any large economic growth and housing growth in Eureka? I see definitely housing growth. Eureka's kind of been hit by the fact that the Canadian border has been closed for almost 2 years, and that really hurt Eureka. But it seems as though Canada's lightening up their rules, and I just read the other day that now you can go up there with you don't even have to take a Rona test to get in. So as long as you have vaccinated, I think, but I don't know. So here's a question this is for Hillary.
Do you like Nebraska? Would you live there again? I grew up in Omaha, so of course I love it. My parents are still there, and I still have a lot of family friends there. I don't really see myself ever leaving this area, but I did love growing up there, and it's like my childhood home. So I got nothing bad to say about it.
Well, if they ever had a good football team, maybe it'd give you a reason to move back.
Yeah, I'm just so used to being bad. It doesn't even hurt me anymore.
They have a league for roller hockey. Not that I know of. I have not heard of a roller hockey league, but I do know there are a few guys that play around with it. So you may.
I know there's roller derby leagues.
That's what you should do.
I got asked to join once.
Why didn't you? You'd be perfect for that. You're kind of a big bruiser type of person that likes to fight.
Yeah.
That'd be a great video. We're always looking for new video ideas. That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, everybody out there, if you want to see Hillary in roller derby, leave a comment, and if we get 5, she'll join.
The girls that asked me to do it were really nice, but I was like, no, thank you.
Well, I've met a few of them. A few of them play hockey, and yeah, they're cool girls. We actually went one time and watched it. It's quite the event. So anyway, with that,
on that
note, more people are wishing you happy birthday.
I know. Thanks, guys.
So, yeah. Send us an email below if you want the link, or if you have any other questions, or if you want to vote for Hillary to, speaking of voting for Hillary, that's what we should talk about. So if any of you guys have been around for a year and watching us, this was before Hillary's time. They have a contest every year in Whitefish. It's called the Best of Whitefish, and they, everybody votes for the best everything, bartender, you name it, and real estate agent is one of them. And Hillary got nominated, and I think it starts on either tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow or Wednesday. Get on there. I'm going to put I will, in the community section of our YouTube group, I will put the link so you all get notified of this. But we're trying to get Hillary the big win. Last year, a lot of you guys voted for me, but I came in second. So I think this year Hillary has a much better chance to get over the top. And if she wins, they hang a big banner on the front of our building, recognizing her. So please vote for Hillary. I will put the link, and we'll be bugging you. I think it goes for about 3 weeks, the voting. So the next live, that's all we're going to talk about. And we're going to be, sending out mass emails and bugging you guys. So we need you to vote every day. You can do that and tell all your friends to vote. And we will have a gigantic celebration if we can push Hillary over the top and get the victory. So
yeah, I like the celebration with everyone.
Yeah. So anyway, well, thank you guys. We're going to take off. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be back on Sunday next time. Sorry, it was Monday this week, but we will talk to everybody
Thanks for showing
later.
up.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information. And don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.